So, as you can tell from the title of the video up there, this is going to be my Not Scary Farm 2014 predictions. Um, these are just predictions of what I think it's going to be like this year. I can already tell it's going to be a great year for Knott's, but we're going to go one by one, from returning mazes to the new ones, and I'm gonna give my thoughts on what I think is going to happen. Now, I'm not going to have any sort of biased opinion since I work the event, but um, we're gonna give it an honest prediction on whether it might fail or whether it might work. So I'm gonna start off with returning mazes. Um, First returning maze is Trick or Treat. I personally think, even though I worked the maze last year, I personally think that this is probably its last year. It's kind of a take on the traditional Halloween, the whole trick or treat, traditional Halloween pumpkins, ghosts with sheet ghosts and like just old costumes, just kind of Frankenstein, Dracula kind of costumes. Um, and basically you go into the Green Witch's house, and she kidnaps trick or treaters, and yeah, that's pretty much the little synopsis of that maze. So personally, I think it should leave, just because it kind of works, but kind of not. Like, I mean, there are some good scares in there, which I won't give away because I'll leave it up to you to go through it and find out for yourself. But I personally think it's on its last leg this year. After this year, I don't think it's going to come back. So next is Dominion of the Damned. Dominion of the Damned is returning for its, I believe it's third year now. I believe it's its third year. First year, it was just kind of a returning maze for 2012 since the original Dominion was such a popular maze. So they brought it back for the 40th. And then last year it was something to deal with the king. I believe it was called Long Live the King. Well, this year I guess the queen from the original Dominion is back, and she's uglier and more scary, I guess. So honestly, I think Dominion is going to do really well. It's done really well the past 2 years. It's returned. So I think this will do fairly well, and I think that this maze is probably going to be one more year, or maybe it's got another 2 years. I think it's only got one more, but who knows? Maybe it'll stay for another 2 years. Okay. Next is Pinocchio Unstrung. So this maze replaced the Doll Factory, which I was devastated about because Doll Factory was new in this year on my shirt, 2007, and this was the year I went for my very first time. So Doll Factory was brand new when I first went to Halloween Haunt, and it pretty much was there every time I went, after 2007, and it was sad to see it go. But it got replaced with a good maze, Pinocchio Unstrung. It's a Daniel Miller maze who also did Forevermore and oh no, not I'm sorry, not Forevermore. I'm sorry, Black Magic, and Forevermore is a Brooke Walters maze. I was mixed up. So yeah, and he also did Slaughterhouse and all that stuff, and Delirium. So he has kind of that twisted mind, and I feel Pinocchio Unstrung is like a really good twisted version of Pinocchio. It kind of tells a demented tale about how the Blue Fairy didn't grant him his wish of becoming a real boy, so now he's taking out his vengeance on the townspeople where he lives, and basically wears their skin pretty much to be a real boy. So I feel like that's a good maze, and I feel it's going to be here for maybe another year or two. Still got great scares in there. It's just a fantastic maze, design wise and scare wise. So next is Forevermore with the Brooke Walters maze, like I said and made a mistake on. So Forevermore is returning. This is basically about the Forevermore killer who kills victims in the style of Edgar Allan Poe poems and short stories and what have you. I feel like this maze is even though I didn't get to go through it, I saw it on YouTube and watched flow-throughs of it, and it actually was really well designed. It was very well designed, really good scares, some great costumes. I feel like this could be here for a while. I'm thinking like maybe the time of Slaughterhouse, or it can be like another thing, like it would stay like 13 Axe Murder Manor and Asylum did, and also Slaughterhouse, like I said. He stayed there for about 6 years. I feel like this maze could be here for maybe 5, for maybe 5, including when it was new last year. So I feel like this is a really good, a really good maze design wise, and I feel like it could be here for a while. So the new stuff in there is pretty much just new death scenes. I guess they're more creative with their death scenes. So I mean, that's pretty much that. So Black Magic, another Daniel Miller maze. So this maze is pretty much a seance, trying to summoning Harry Houdini, and basically it's all these magic tricks and what have you in an abandoned theater. So this maze really well. I actually went through this during dress rehearsal last year. It was really well. The talent did really good. They actually got me a couple times in there. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I don't get scared very often in these things. It's more of like a startling where I don't want them to kind of like hit me in the face. But there are times when they do actually get me where I do jump because I get scared. Very well. If you're able to do that to me, then you're doing a good job scaring, of course. So yeah, that's pretty much the synopsis. Basically, it's just an abandoned theater, and you're in a seance, basically summoning Harry Houdini's ghost and all that stuff. This maze, I feel like it could be here for a while as well. Maybe I give it like maybe 2-3 more years, and then it's probably gone. But that's just me. So yeah, I think Black Magic's gonna do really well. Gunslinger's Grave, that was new last year. It's returning this year. I went through this also during dress rehearsal. It was really well. The talent did so good, especially the robbers, and pretty much people like of that nature, where they're kind of pointing the gun at you and yelling at you and trying to rob you, pretty much, basically. And this maze, it's very well designed. Like the the design about this maze is when you're inside a building, you're inside a building. When you're outside, you're actually outside, and if you look up, you can see the sky. There's no ceiling above you. Unless you're inside of a building. Like, say, when you're outside, you're supposed to look at the stars. It's pretty much, and you're walking on dirt, and that kind of thing. And I think that's just a really cool aspect of this maze. And this maze is gonna be here. I'll give it another 2 years, I suppose. I'll give it that. Maybe it'll last longer. I don't know. These are just predictions, but I predict that this maze is gonna do really well this year. If it's anything like last year, it's gonna do fine. Something new is the ending scene, which they gave away. But I mean, if you want to find out for yourself, just look it up. It's already out there, but I feel like I don't really want to spoil it, kind of, even though they already did. So if you want to find out the ending scene, you can pretty much look it up or just wait to go to Halloween Hunt. This is not a maze, but it's returning. It's the Witch's Keep. Not a maze. It's more of a ride through of special effects, kind of. So that's returning. I mean, I don't even know why they do this, because there's no talent in there. There's no monsters. It's just all effects and audio and stuff like that. And I think that people are kind of just like expecting to go through that and say, oh, we're gonna get scared by monsters, even though there's no monsters. It's just all effects and audio, and it's in the mine ride. So I feel like this is probably its last year. Who knows? I thought it was its last year, like last year. I thought it was the very last year they would do it, but they brought it back again, and I don't know. I don't really like it. I know a lot of people don't really like this, but I mean, they're bringing it back, so it must be cool. I might check it out this year when I go as a guest, because I have a day off. So here are the new mazes. So, oh wait, before I get to that, no, wait. Okay, I'll tell you the new mazes, and then I'll get to what I wanted to talk about. Okay, so first we have Tooth Fairy. So this is a Daniel Miller maze, so obviously it's going to be really bloody, gory, and demented. And basically this is about the Tooth Fairy and what happens when you wake up and stay up for the Tooth Fairy. So basically what happens when you stay up and wait for the Tooth Fairy, she takes you to her lair and basically teaches you how to extract teeth so she can collect teeth. And so that's pretty much what you're doing in this whole maze, is just going through her lair and seeing her lair and seeing her teach these kids on how to extract teeth for her collection and all that stuff. Very, very gory, very, very demented. Of course, the mind of Daniel Miller is very demented. He's probably my favorite designer next to Brooke Walters. I really love Brooke Walters' design, but I have to give Daniel Miller the number one spot because I think I think he's one of, if not the best designer at Not Scary Farm. So right away, if you know any Daniel Miller maze, you know it's gonna do great. You know it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be really good. None of his mazes have ever failed to impress me or anyone that goes. It's never failed. So, yeah, it's Tooth Fairy, and that was replacing Delirium, which is a Daniel Miller creation as well. So this one's gonna be in the warehouse behind Dominion. So you're gonna go Dominion and then hit Tooth Fairy right after. Next one is Voodoo. This one is replacing Endgames, so it's the warehouse right across from Dominion of the Damned. So basically this one is about Voodoo pretty much. This really cool concept of this maze is you can choose your own path. So basically it's not like you're stuck on one path throughout like a regular maze where you're stuck and you kind of have to follow one direction all the way through. You can choose your own path and you can have different experiences more than once, more than twice, I believe she said. I think you can have like 4 or 5 different experiences in this maze. And so it's like a free roam maze, and there's no walls kind of like blocking your way. You can just kind of walk whichever. I mean, I guess sometimes you'll have walls, but excuse me, most of the time it's kind of a free roam type of thing. You can choose your own path and what have you. So I think that this is going to be really, really cool. I've actually been seeing them build this maze quite a lot, and it looks like they're going to have real dirt in there, like they kind of did. They're taking like elements from the Gunslinger's Grave, like with the realness, and putting it into Voodoo, and I think that's really cool. What I've seen back there, I don't really want to spoil it too much. I just kind of been seeing trees and parts of buildings in there, because I heard you're supposed to walk through houses and through forests and all that stuff. So I feel like this maze is going to be really, really cool. I can't wait to do this one. Really, really excited. Next is Trapped Lock and Key. So the new Trapped, this is its 3rd year returning. I should have put this in returning mazes, but I put it in new because it's all brand new. Trapped, once Trapped finishes 1 year, they scrap the whole maze and then rebuild it from scratch again. So it can be all new, fresh. Nothing is reused. Nothing is the same. It's all different every year. So that's why I put it under new mazes. So this is called Trap Lock and Key. Nobody really knows anything about this, not even the monsters. I'm sure the people in Trap know, but they're not going to release anything. And I feel like I haven't gotten to do Trapped both years. I missed it. I missed my chance the very first year, and I didn't get to do it last year because I was working Haunt, obviously, and I had no days off, so I couldn't have done it. And hopefully I get to do it this year. I mean, I don't know. My girlfriend really doesn't want to do this because she is scared of the fact that they get to touch you in this maze, and that's kind of the only thing that people know about it. They get to touch you, and you have to sign a waiver. There's a safety word and all that good stuff, and that kind of freaks my girlfriend out. She doesn't want to do this, so I really want to do this, but I feel like I have to do it without her, and that kind of sucks. But anyway, Trapped Lock and Key, brand new. It's going to be great, of course. Trapped sells out every year, and it turns out to be a huge success, so you know, I heard that's just going to be longer and more gruesome and more shocking than ever, pretty much. Okay, so next new thing. This is the last new thing that's here. It's called Infected. This is the place that I'm working at this year. I'm a monster in here, and I'll get to what I am. I'm a zombie, so I'll explain that. So Infected pretty much takes over all of Camp Snoopy. It's pretty much from the start of Camp Snoopy, from near the entrance to the end of Camp Snoopy, or the other entrance of Camp Snoopy, whichever way you want to look at it. Basically, you're put into a zombie apocalypse, and you're led by 2 squad leaders, one in the front, one in the back, and basically they lead you through this zombie apocalypse, and zombies are coming at you, and you have to shoot the zombies. They're going to give you guns, not real guns, fake guns, and it's going to have a little bit of recoil. It's going to make, real gun noises, but no real bullets are going to fly out, and it's obviously dangerous and can't do that. So basically, the zombies are going to be wearing sensors on our heads and in the back of our heads, and pretty much you're going to have to shoot us. and if we get too close, we could take your points away. So be careful. So this is kind of a new thing. It's not a scare zone, it's not a maze, it's just a new experience, a new interactive experience where you can be put in a dangerous situation. It's like it's kind of being put in a real life video game, pretty much. So you basically get to shoot us. You get to go through different missions. There's Alpha Outpost, which I'm in, and then there's also Bravo Outpost. And each outpost has two different sets of missions. So Alpha Outpost has 2 sets of missions, and then Bravo would also have 2 sets of missions, but they're different. So that's pretty much Infected. I mean, I can't really give too much away about the scenes and what you're going to be able to do and all that, because I don't want to spoil it. I want you guys to be surprised and actually go through and not know what you're doing, because that's the fun of it. Figure it out for yourself. So, yeah, that's pretty much Infected, put in the middle of a zombie apocalypse, takes over all at Camp Snoopy. So hope you guys will enjoy that. I feel, and this is not me being biased or anything, just because I work the zone, I guess, since I work Infected. I feel like this is probably going to be the best thing here. It's brand new. No one's ever done anything like this before, to my knowledge and to Knott's knowledge, of course. So I feel like this is going to be probably the best thing at Knott's this year. This is probably the most anticipated thing this year at Knott's. So yeah, I'm glad to be a part of that. Glad to be a part of the very first group and to do this for the very first year. It's going to be exciting. I was just at rehearsal last night for this, and it was incredible. I can't wait to get out there and, try to infect all of you. So, okay. So now that we got done with about the returning mazes and the new mazes, we're going to talk about Skeleton Key. So if you don't know what the Skeleton Key is, basically if you buy Fright Lane, which gives you front of the line access to all the mazes, it comes with a thing called the Skeleton Key, and 5 different mazes have the Skeleton Key, and basically the Skeleton Key lets you unlock a room before you go into the actual maze. So there's always some sort of room that you have to go through before going into the actual maze itself. So the 5 mazes that have the Skeleton Key room are Dominion of the Damned, Pinocchio Unstrung, which is brand new. They never had a Skeleton Key room before. Dominion had one last year. Black Magic had one last year, and it's coming back again. Gunslinger's Grave also had one last year, brand new, coming back. And Voodoo also has a Skeleton Key room, obviously brand new, since Voodoo is a brand new maze. So those are the 5 mazes with the Skeleton Key room, and you have to have the Skeleton Key to go through it. It's expensive, but it's very worth it. The Skeleton Key rooms are pretty awesome. So yeah, the Skeleton Key. If you want to get into scare zones, I mean, it's all the same scare zones. Fiesta Streets, Ghost Town, of course, Carnival, and Gypsy Camp. So those are the scare zones that are returning, coming back like they do every year, and they do very well, of course, every year. And shows, The Hanging is, of course, coming back, and Elvira. There's only 2 shows this year. The new Elvira show, she's going to be there every night of Haunt, so you can meet her and watch her show and everything. That's pretty much it for Knott's Scary Farm 2014. Also, something new that they had that's brand new, never been done previous years or anything. It's a Knott's Scary Farm Season Pass. So you can have a Season Pass to go anytime you want of Haunt. Any night, anytime, without, paying for a ticket. You have a pass instead. They're very limited, so I don't know if they still have any or anything like that. They were very limited, so if they ran out, I guess it's too bad, I guess. I don't know. But I think that's kind of cool that the guests can buy an actual pass to go to Halloween Haunt. I wish they had this when I was a guest, because I would have used it probably every day. I would have went every day. But I'm there every day, so I don't need it. So yeah, Haunt 2014. It's going to be a great year. I hope you guys all get to go to Haunt 2014. See you there. I will make sure to try and infect you all, which you guys all go through Infected. Make sure to do that first. It's probably going to be the most packed thing there. So make sure to get there early. Make sure to go through Infected first. So I hope you guys enjoyed this predictions video, and I will see you guys later.